There are plenty of weird shows in Australia, a lot of them from my childhood. But who'd have thunk of this? I'll tell you who. Peter Visca. Originally, this man wanted to create a show about when Elvis Presley was a child, but couldn't get the permission to go forward. He soon shared this idea to one Susie Campbell, who works for the Australian Children's Television Foundation. And it was expressed to him that the government at the time was looking for a cartoon that was distinctly Australian, as they put it. So the idea was soon developed into the show we know and love. Ladies and gents, Little Elvis Jones and the Truckstoppers.
To a woman star on a desert night in a Cadillac of golden light, on the floor by a truck stop door, he left a prize. A rock and roll surprise for Len and Grace, a little baby boy in a guitar case, and who mom and dad could hardly believe their eyes.
Little Elvis Jones is set in the Australian outback, in the little town of Wanapoo. Don't laugh. Where a little truck stop diner has an act that may or may not break child labour laws. The titular character, Little Elvis, is a child prodigy, born with a good singing voice. His parents, his mother Grace in particular, more or less force him to perform in their truck stop diner as an Elvis impersonator. This doesn't deter him from being a music lover, however, as he enjoys playing music with his friend Lionel Dexter, who plays the didgeridoo. Janet, his cousin, a rough-and-tumble tomboy, and whose trucker mother left her to live with the Joneses, soon joins the friend group and they form a band together, the Truckstoppers. They convince his parents to let them play their music, Digibelly, and little Elvis no longer has to be an Elvis impersonator. On the other side of things, we have our series antagonist, W.C. Moore. He's a self-absorbed billionaire who wants nothing more than to make money.
There is nothing quite as beautiful as cash.
And he's not above exploitation, shady deals, and mining for Barconium under the town until the buildings collapse. But that's not until the last episode. He's also not above abusing the people around him, especially his driver and cohort, Duncan. Heck, I'm not even sure Duncan gets paid. Each episode is about either WC trying to make money off the town any way he can, slice of life scenarios with an out there concept, or basically insanity. As I'm showing you these clips, you'll notice the animation isn't the smoothest or highest quality. This was definitely made on a lower budget, but the expressiveness of the characters, the crazy plot lines, and the writing all make up for it, especially Elvis, whose hair acts as a complement to his emotions and adds to his expressiveness. Another positive I could say about the show is the soundtrack. Every now and again Little Elvis will sing a song at the end of the episode. It doesn't happen all the time, but it happened enough throughout the series that plenty of the songs he sung have stuck in my head years later. Just to show you what I'm talking about, I'll just show you a few clips here of a few of my favorites. I'll be honest, it was extremely difficult for me to pick an episode of this to review. And there's a lot I could talk about, and some of them go way out there. Potential episodes included Divorce, or Divorce, where WC hires an attorney to convince the children to divorce their parents and then sneakily making WC their legal guardian. That's not creepy. Good Boy, Cruel World, where Elvis wishes he'd never been born and gets a wish fulfilled. Yes, I know that's not a real word, shut up. Big Top Brouhaha, where Elvis has to deal with spies, animal smugglers, and whatever else when the circus comes to town. Billionairiosis, where the richest person in the world comes to town to see Elvis, only to have Elvis discover he's actually a kid and an orphan. Oof. And who could forget No War, where WC uses a child psychic to predict popular trends for little Elvis in order to make more money. Because of course. I thought long and hard about this, but I did manage to find an episode I think will manage just fine. The episode Robopop. Let's have a gander. The episode starts with the Truckstoppers looking on a map in search of WC's Barconium mine, and getting some practice in.
Hey, not bad, Lionel. Try this.
Hey! We're supposed to be concentrating on finding WC's Barconium mine, remember?
Sorry, Janet, but you know I can't resist the duel.
They get a call from WC requesting that they go on a world tour for $1 million. They decline.
Oh, did I just hear you turn down $1 million? Yep, a world tour couldn't be more fun than this. Elvis, did it ever occur to you that $1 million could be a lot of fun too?
Grace, did it ever occur to you that this is possibly breaking child labour laws? Or that you shouldn't be making money off of your child if they don't want to? We had a story recently about this. Don't make me call CPS. WC gets worked up just before a robotics expert and inventor, Dr. Rankenfell, comes in to demonstrate his prototype for a mining robot. It goes about as well as you'd expect.
Mr. WC, Dr. Rankenfell has told me all about you. You are much thinner than I imagined. Mr. WC! Mr. WC! Oh dear, what have I done? Clear! Fire! Fire! I am ignited, Mr. WC!
Dr. Rankenfell gets kicked out, but this whole interaction gives WC an idea, and so hires the good doctor and gives him a place to work.
Bills need paying and the blocks need placing. Gotta work all day.
I wonder who left all these calendar pages around here.
Whoever it is, when I get my hands on him, I'm gonna ruin his year.
They snoop around near some old army bases, trying to find an entry into the mines, when they spot WC's car and go investigate. What they find is Dr. Rankenfell rebuilding his drillbot into an L-bot, who is equally as talented as the original.
I'm so happy. I've got total control.
They confront them and WC says L-bot is replacing him. Elvis then celebrates because it means he doesn't have to listen to him anymore.
You're too late, little Elvis. You've already started.
After rubbing it in their faces at the diner, L-bot goes on tour while Elvis enjoys his time as a free man, so to speak, while the town begins to go under.
We're right back to where we started from. We haven't had a customer for days. Yeah, but we got rid of WC Moore and Barconium. We're cruising, right, Dad?
Son, when you set off on life's big highway, it makes no difference if the road is clear. If your motor drops out.
Later on, WC and Elbot are playing marbles in the desert, when WC, as per usual, uses his Barconium ring to cheat. This sets off Elbot's programming and causes him to latch onto his hand. WC sends Elbot to get fixed for the concert in Egypt the next day. During the procedure, it's shown that Elbot has gained some level of sentience.
Well, that's unusual. You're not programmed for emotion.
I know, but I don't like Mr. WC and I don't like what he's doing to me. And you, please, Dr. Rankin-File, please don't turn me off.
Oh.
When you feel like a dirtbag, it's because you're a dirtbag, right? So just own it. Just say it out loud. I am a dirtbag.
And the very next scene we see Elbot being used as a vacuum cleaner. Classy. Making it clear that WC doesn't give a crap about either of them. After helping Elbot, who's choking on the garbage he vacuumed up, Rankin-File decides to seek help from the original Little Elvis, and leaves in his helicopter. We cut to the Truckstoppers playing in an empty room. Rankin-File arrives and pleads with them to help save his robot.
Mad Professor Guy, grab him!
No, wait! I come in peace. I need your help to set my little Elbot free.
You made your own bed, you can bounce on it. We're free of WC Moore and we're happy.
Really?
Despite Elvis being happy that WC is gone, they decide to help, knowing that if they don't, the town is bankrupt. And so they leave, after they have a bit of filler about him finding the spare key because Duncan stole the other one.
I wonder if that's the way it happened on the night I was found.
I found it!
Egypt, here we come! Can't this thing go any faster? The concert will be over by the time we get there.
Something is causing us drag.
We cut to the concert, where Elbot has just finished, when the Truckstoppers arrive and confront them. Elbot says he's correct in calling him a fraud, and decides to self-terminate. Wait, what? This is a kid's show, right? He's even holding a drill to his head like a gun. The actual heck!
If I can't be you and I can't be myself, then I'm terminating my program. Maybe you can't be me, but there's nothing to stop you from being yourself.
You wanna know how they talk him down? They figure if he's exactly like Little Elvis, there's one thing he can't resist. A rock duel. After it all, Elbot announces his retirement, and everything goes back to normal. Back in Australia, Elbot says his goodbyes and states that the good doctor has reprogrammed him to dig for water instead of Barconium. And then they leave, leaving water springs behind. And that's the episode. All in all, this episode was pretty good. There have been plenty of episodes where a robot doppelganger was used to great effect, and this episode takes it one step further, and possibly another step too far. The story for the most part was well thought out, and the interactions between the characters served the story well. Overall, a good episode of a true blue Aussie classic. See you next time when hopefully I'll be tackling Christmas movies. Yeah, keep your eyes out for that.